A Hawaii crime boss convicted in a revenge-killing plot of his son's friend was found dead inside his prison cell over the weekend, authorities announced Monday. Michael Mike Miske, 50, was discovered unresponsive inside his cell at the Federal Detention Center in Honolulu on Sunday, according to the Bureau of Prisons. Miske was pronounced dead just after 10 a.m. His cause of death remains unclear. Investigators are allegedly probing the crime boss's death as a suicide, but it's unclear if he was on suicide watch, KGMB reported. Miske's crime organization, referred to in an indictment as the Miske Enterprise, ran from the late 1990s until his arrest in July 2020, until he was arrested on kidnapping and murder charges in connection to the disappearance of 21-year-old Jonathan Fraser. Fraser was best friends with Miske's late son, Caleb Miske, and the pair were in a high-speed crash together in November 2015, resulting in the kingpin's son's death. Although police reported Caleb had been driving, Miske allegedly insisted that Fraser was responsible for the death of his only son. Fraser vanished without a trace in July 2016. His body was never found. After Fraser's disappearance, Miske began being investigated by police, where his web of criminal activity came into focus, with federal agents raiding his home in July 2020 and arresting him. His trial began in January 2024 and lasted around 6 months. During the trial, evidence was produced that from about March 2016 and continuing to about July 30, 2016, Miske conspired with others to kidnap and murder 21-year-old Jonathan Fraser in the belief that Fraser was responsible for Miske's son's death as a result of an automobile crash. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the crime boss has owned contracting, auto, and fishing companies since at least the 1990s, and ads for his extermination business, Kamaina termite and pest control, aired frequently on Oahu. In addition to residential properties, he also owned the Glitzy M nightclub, later renamed Encore. During his trial, he was also accused of orchestrating crimes that included murder for hire, robbery, the kidnapping of a 72-year-old accountant who owed a debt, and the release of a toxic chemical into a rival's nightclub. In or about March 2017, Miske and others conspired to release a chemical weapon, namely, chloropicrin, into nightclubs in Honolulu, Hawaii. As part of this conspiracy, chloropicrin was released into 2 different nightclubs, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Miske's conviction allowed the government to seize $28 million of his assets, which included boats, homes, and artwork.